Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday. And I just wanted to say stay safe. And then my other thing I wanted to say is if I give you guys like an assignment that's due, usually on Google Classroom, it gives you a due date, tells you like, hey, this is due on a Friday. Like our writing assignment was actually due on like Saturday, and I graded it on Monday. Here's the thing, like after I graded it, I think I got like over 30 people, over 30 of you guys turning it in after I put it in the grade book. Like I've already spent like my day like reading through everybody's paragraph and like grading it and entering it in the grade book, and now I got to do like 30 more. That's like a whole nother class. It's not okay. Like you've had time. You're home. Like my assignments aren't very long. Like you can get it done. Okay, so let's try and get those things done on time. It's definitely like an issue I've seen kind of ongoing. So work on that. Otherwise, I'm going to figure out a solution, and maybe it's just like you have a day, and then I'm not grading anything after that. I don't know. We'll see. But try and get your stuff turned in on time. And if you're watching this, you're probably not one of those people. I'm guessing if you're watching it, that you're also turning in on time as well. Today, I'd like to talk about how we get rid of bacterial infections. Like last week, we talked about some of the good things that bacteria do, but bacteria can definitely get into your body and cause sickness. Those are called pathogens. And that was the slide before this. I think slide 28 was on pathogens. And they can cause illness. And today I'd like to talk about how we as medical professionals and biologists have kind of like cured that illness. Okay. Well, at least have a treatment for it. And that treatment's called antibiotics. And I got a little story too that I'll also go into as well with this, but because we definitely misuse antibiotics in our society. It's like one of these things that we called like a wonder drug. I mean, when this thing came out like a long time ago, penicillin, oh my gosh, when penicillin came out, it was like widely used and it worked so well. And it killed so many infections and saved so many lives. I mean, this thing was labeled a wonder drug, and it really, really was. It changed the medical field. Okay. The problem is like penicillin doesn't even work anymore. You're like, what do you mean? Like it's a wonder drug, it should still work. No, it doesn't work anymore. And it doesn't work because of the way humans used the drug. And also because of evolution. Okay. Bacteria have evolved defenses and that have basically made penicillin obsolete. It doesn't really work. Okay. So we as scientists continue to develop new drugs that fight off and kill bacteria. Antibiotics kill bacteria. And you can look at the word anti means like against, and bio, that root word in here, bio means life. We'd have that on my root word wall at school. So bio means life. So we're talking about things that kill life. And mainly we're talking about like small microscopic life. Okay, so really protists and bacteria are what we're trying to get rid of by taking this drug. So on that note, if it's killing living things, will it work on a virus? No, it won't. So viruses are not alive. COVID-19 is not a living thing. No matter what people say about talking about killing the virus in the news and stuff, it's not alive. It's a living-like thing. It has DNA, but it's not alive. It doesn't use energy. It doesn't move around on its own. It doesn't even reproduce on its own. It hijacks your body to do that, right? It's not alive, okay? So if you take an antibiotic for a virus, not really doing anything. What you need to do for a virus is take a vaccine, right? A shot beforehand or like a nasal spray or something. You need to expose yourself to either deactivated parts of the virus, you know, a mutated version of the virus, a different but similar virus, virus parts, all those sorts of things. That's how we make vaccines. We put those into your body, and it causes an immune response. Your immune system kicks in, and then you have those memory B cells from earlier videos. Those memory B cells, after they fight off this vaccine, this fake virus, they circulate through your blood, and they remember what it is that you're supposed to fight off. So if you are exposed to it again in the future, you can beat it, right? So vaccines you have to take beforehand. Antibiotics you take after you get infected, and that's one of the misuses. You take an antibiotic afterwards. If you get a bacterial infection, if bacteria get in your body and they are causing illness, then after that you take the antibiotic. That is the treatment, okay? The bacteria has to be there for you to kill it, okay? So antibiotics are usually in the form of a pill. They can be in the form of a shot, but most of the time in the form of a pill that circulates through your blood system and goes all over your body Sometimes there's topical creams and stuff that can be antibiotics as well, but this is the way most of them are. The pill that you take, it circulates through your body, and it's delivered to the infection in your blood. And this drug in your blood then kills bacterial cells and kills the bacterial infection. Okay, so it looks a lot different than a vaccine as well. So now that you know that, please tell my grandmother, because, oh man, I was down there visiting her one time. I think I was in college. Maybe it was after college. I don't really remember. It was a number of years ago. She had a bad cold. My grandmother lives in Arizona, kind of near Mexico. She's maybe about 40 minutes away from the Mexican border. And she's coughing up a lung, sneezing, runny nose, etc. She's got a bad cold, right? And she goes, I need to go to the doctor for this cold, get some antibiotics. And I'm like, well, Grandma, like, antibiotics don't work against the cold. That's not what they do, right? She looks at me and she's like, yes, they do. They've always worked for me. I've always taken them for a cold. Misuse. Don't take an antibiotic for a cold. Colds, flus, COVID, that's a virus, right? So they will not work against a virus. Well, they worked for me in the past. They'll work for me again. And if he doesn't prescribe them to me, I'm going to drive down to Mexico and I'm going to buy them myself. Don't prescribe yourself your own medication. The doctor knows best, right? But here's the thing. If you pressure a doctor enough, they're just going to be like, fine, here, take it, have it, because you can get out of my office and then I can go to my next patient, you know? And that's what a lot of doctors have done in the past. Just like kind of, yeah, take this, you'll feel better, see ya. Okay? That is a misuse of antibiotics. We can't do that, okay? The reason is because if you take an antibiotic that kills most all of the bacteria, that's great. And it gets rid of the infection, which is good. And then your immune system comes in and fights off the rest of them and they're all dead. In the case of something like taking it for a cold, you're killing off all these good bacteria that are in your body too. Like, it just kills all the bacteria. So like all that good stuff that you learned about on Friday and you wrote about, definitely killing off all that. But if you stop taking it because you feel better, then you can also leave some behind, okay? And that's how things get immune to the drug, because the ones left behind are the strongest ones. They're the ones that survived the first round of drugs, right? And so they're the strongest ones, and they start populating and growing. And then all the babies are strong like that. And then if you go through and take antibiotics again, you kill off most of them. And if you stop a little bit early, then those strongest ones survive. And then they repopulate. And after a few generations of that, it's the super strong bacteria that live, and their drug doesn't work at all. Okay, so that's kind of where we got there. The video here on slide 29 kind of talks about that. And then I'm going to ask you guys down here at the bottom, describe ways in which people misuse antibiotics to create super bacteria. So that's along those lines when I say that, like, bacteria have evolved to fight our drugs. And it's because of that concept that I just showed you there. Hopefully the video shows you as well. Okay, so that's your assignment today. Go ahead and watch the video and answer that question. And hopefully you watched mine. And hopefully you're not like my grandmother. She knows everything, right? She's not going to take the word of a biologist. She's old. It's worked for her in the past. She knows everything. There's not even really a point in arguing with her. But true story. It happened. Don't use antibiotics for viruses. Don't take antibiotics before you're sick. Don't just take antibiotics all the time. That would be bad either. And don't feed them to livestock and animals just to prevent them from being sick. All these things are bad misuses of antibiotics. You're probably going to see them in the video as well. So that's all you have to do today. Thanks for paying attention. We'll talk a little bit more about it tomorrow. Try and get your work done on time. There's nothing to turn in today, but please fill out the stuff in your notes. Okay?